Justin is a 12-year-old boy who is on his way cycling back home. His return journey is surrounded by a deserted road covered with trees where suddenly something grabs him and knocks Justin off from his bike. Elsewhere, awkwardness engulfs the Harper family. It occurs because Jackie has been known to have an illicit relationship with another man, which means she has betrayed her marriage to Greg. Greg certainly feels very disappointed and carves wounds that creates a very deep hatred for Jackie. Despite all the troubles that undermine the harmony of the family, they stay together for the sake of their only son, Connor. On the other hand, Greg, who has lost faith in Jackie, becomes numb and thinks that all the attention Jackie has given is fake. One time, Greg's attention is drawn to a glass that is put on a tile. For a moment, he thinks that it might be Connor's doing, thus he just ignores it. While Jackie is working as a doctor, Greg is working as a detective. Greg is assigned to lead the investigation into the disappearance of Justin, the child who went missing during his return earlier. Before long, he and his partner start rushing in search of clues. They find evidence in the form of a small green knife near the site. Seeing this, his partner remembers a similar case in the past. A culprit kidnapped 6 children and buried them all with a small green knife beside the crime scene. But at this time, the perpetrator is known to be still locked up in prison, which means it is very unlikely that he is the perpetrator in this novel case. Meanwhile, Jackie, who has just arrived at her house, finds her kitchen drawer has been emptied. A lot of weird things keep happening to her afterwards, such as meeting a window repairman in her house even though she never called him, and even the television suddenly turns on and broadcasts the news of a missing child. She turns off the television, but it strangely turns on again. After that, Greg arrives home, so Jackie leaves the television on. Greg doesn't really care about Jackie and immediately goes upstairs. Suddenly, his steps stop when he sees that one of the family photos on the wall has disappeared. He also sees that his hamster has come out of the cage. Greg follows the hamster into a wardrobe. Surprisingly, someone closes the wardrobe door from the outside and locks Greg inside. He keeps banging on the door, demanding to go out. Soon, Jackie comes to open it and thinks this was Connor's doing. But, Jackie says that Connor isn't in the house, which makes them feel strange. At that time, Greg thinks that he is just tired and Jackie uses the chance to mend their relationship. However, Greg still feels unsure, considering that he is not the main breadwinner and is not liked by his in-laws, thus it makes him feel inferior in front of his wife. In addition, Jackie has thrown away his great love. The only reason Greg stays with his wife is just for the sake of their only child, Connor. That night, someone pulls Greg's blanket while he is sleeping, and in the morning, he finds that his mattress is wet. Despite being confused, he just puts it in the washing machine and goes to work. In the office, they reopen cases 15 years ago with a similar pattern to the recent case. They will track the whereabouts of the 2 children who previously managed to escape from the incident 15 years ago. They reopen the interview tape and go to the residence of one of the victims, who is currently experiencing a mental disorder due to the trauma. While at home, Jackie is visited by her boyfriend, Todd. At that time, Jackie says that she does not want to have a relationship with him anymore and clarifies everything that has happened as a mistake. Suddenly, a glass falls right on Todd's head and injures him. Seeing the window open, Jackie thinks that it was his son's doing as a form of disappointment because of his mother's betrayal. After the incident, Jackie takes Todd to the basement to cure the injury on his head. However, she can't stay with him any longer, as she has to take Connor to school. Then, they hear music from upstairs, but Connor confesses that he didn't turn it on. Meanwhile, in the basement, someone comes and hits Todd from behind, eventually killing him. In another place, Greg and his partner are still investigating the case and trying several reenactments of what really happened. They find a rope used by the perpetrators to ensnare Justin. Returning home, Jackie finds Todd lying on the ground covered in blood and dead, where not long after that, Greg arrives home too. And full of guilt, Jackie asks Greg for help to see Todd's condition. The two think that Connor accidentally killed him, so Greg, who doesn't want to have any problems, intends to keep this incident a secret and buries his body in secrecy. Connor, who is playing a computer game in his room, hears something from downstairs and sees his mother's kitchen utensils in the running washing machine. When he comes back, he finds a message from someone he doesn't even know, asking about what frogging is. Suddenly, someone is already at his door. Returning home after burying Todd, Greg is startled by Jackie's scream, who finds his son dying in the bathtub. Seeing the green knife beside him, Jackie takes Connor to the hospital while Greg remains at home looking for the perpetrators. Hearing a loud music playing, Greg goes downstairs, but not noticing someone is behind him watching his movements. Suddenly, the perpetrator attacks Greg and they get into a fight. It is later revealed that 2 young people named Mindy and Alec had sneaked into the garage while recording their activities. They are professional froggers, who sneak into someone's house and stay there without them knowing, for the sake of social media content. Despite the fact that Mindy is already used to doing this activity, this is Alec's first time joining her. In the middle of the night, Mindy woke up to find Alec on the porch. She reprimanded him, fearing that they might be found out. Alec admitted that he was just bored and went back, leaving the glass which Greg found the next day. A few moments later, Mindy fell back asleep, and at that time, Alec came downstairs watching Greg's family from a closer distance. In the next few days, Alec disturbed Greg's family more by taking family photos from the frame on the wall, releasing the hamster from its cage, and locking Greg in the cupboard. He often puts Mindy to sleep with sleeping pills so he can roam free in the house at night. At one night, Alec pulled Greg's bed cover and then peed on him. In the morning, Mindy asked Alec, who was on the terrace, to come in immediately. Feeling annoyed, Alec threw away the glass that accidentally fell right on Todd's head. Connor, who could hear their argument, then checked upstairs. Mindy went to the basement and saw Todd getting up from his chair, but someone hit him on the head, which turned out to be Greg. Mindy sees evil unfolding before her eyes and knows about their plan to bury Todd in the woods. It frightens her, especially when she finds Alec tying Connor upstairs. Feeling unable to bear Alec's behavior, Mindy intended to report this incident to the police. But she was involved in a bit of an argument that made her fall unconscious. After putting Connor in the tub, Alec took Mindy to the car to save her. But in front of him, Greg and Jackie had just returned from the forest after burying Todd. So, Alec delayed his escape and got down for a moment, leaving Mindy in the car. A moment later, which is now, they return to the garage to take Connor to the hospital. While Jackie takes Connor to the hospital, Mindy wakes up and realizes that she is in another car with Greg. At that time, she finds several items in Greg's bag. Surprisingly, she finds a small green knife, realizing that it is actually Greg who has kidnapped children in that town. They head to a remote forest area where Greg is hiding the children. Getting the opportunity, Mindy gets out of the car, but she doesn't run immediately but calls the police. To her surprise, she finds several children cooped up in a cupboard. From behind, Greg comes and immediately grabs Mindy, then takes her back to the car. Greg finds a camera that contains recordings of their activities inside of his house. When he realizes that Mindy was in his house all along, Greg in front of her asks Mindy to stand up. Without hesitating, Greg immediately pulls the trigger and fires a shot that kills Mindy right away. He cleans the fingerprints and puts the gun in Mindy's hand. It turns out that the gunshot was heard by Alec, who then takes a wooden axe to fight Greg. He turns on loud music to attract Greg's attention, thus he comes to him. So the fight ensues. Greg manages to defeat Alec and immediately injures his own body as an alibi for him to escape the snares of the law. Alec, who apparently manages to get up, takes a weapon and points it at Greg. Instantly, the shot goes straight into the chest, which kills Greg that night. Before long, Greg's partner comes to pick him up to continue the investigation after getting the previous report. Seeing that Greg is dead, his partner paralyzes Alec, but he survives. After that, the officers evacuate the house and collect some evidence, as well as rescuing the children in the forest, where Justin is also seen among them. Then, Jackie and Connor arrive home, and Alec is expecting to face the consequences for what he has done in the ambulance. In the end, Mindy and Alec's arrival provides an opportunity for Greg to arrange a mature plan and shift the kidnapping case towards them. It is a part of his grand plan to gain promotions and respect, by solving cases that he actually made up by himself. He succeeded in doing so in the similar case 15 years ago by making other people as perpetrators, who are still locked up in a detention cell. But now, Greg fails to do the same, thanks to Mindy and Alec. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like and comment to help the channel out. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.